What's up, guys? This is Brian. This is the Till You Collapse podcast, and we out here. I'm pumped. Scotty. Scotty, you're going to be in this one. Talk, Scotty.
What's up?
You guys, it's Scotty.
I'm here.
He's still
in
here.
The flesh.
He's alive. I know my last podcast had been some short, fiery stuff, but Scotty's here. I know you guys like to hear from him, so he's going to pop in and out as he feels free in this podcast. I'm letting Scotty out the cage today. Free. I'm letting Scotty out the cage. So, guys, please, all we ask for you for this podcast, trying to spread this movement, get the word out there, is please subscribe to the podcast. Review it if you can. Like it. Share it, please. Anything that you post, you guys know I try to repost you guys and give you a shout out, but we love you sharing this message. I take the time out of my day to do this, to grow it as big as possible, to get the message to as many people as possible. So, guys, I'm going to talk about something today. So, you guys know I've been part of the RTA Syndicate for about 4 years. And it had been about a year and a half since we had an in-person meeting. And I went to the in-person meeting this last weekend, and I can tell you guys what, it was amazing. I missed that connection. And that was the first time I invested in myself, was the RTA Syndicate. You know, up until that point, I was spinning my wheels. I was about 4 years in the business. I had just had my worst year in business, and then I made those transitions that I told you guys about, and I went from the $80,000 a year into $1.1 million in about 6 months, and that was a huge jump for me. And what I'm going to talk about is, I was at the RTA Syndicate this weekend. It was great seeing Andy and Ed. They were my original mentors. They're now personal friends of mine. And there was a huge amount of new people there. There was like 150 people there. It was great, Scotty, seeing all these people, all these entrepreneurs, super successful people, way more successful than me. And then the core group of people that I've known for 3 years, the original OGs. And we have some deep bonded friendships and relationships. And that's really the main point. The group is great. Andy and Ed will teach you guys a lot of stuff being part of that group. They'll teach you tactical stuff for your business. But really the thing is the connections and the relationships you build, business connections and personal connections. But what I want to talk about is I received a award actually. So they brought me up unexpectedly the first day in front of 150 people. Andy and Ed gave me this big plaque that they're shipping here, Scotty. You saw the picture? I don't know if you saw the picture. I don't think I saw it. So it was commitment to dominating, basically. And they basically were talked about, Andy said a little speech about me. And this is really what I want to talk about, the point of the podcast. I want you guys to listen to this. They talked about how they've watched me over the last 4 years and my commitment to domination in business and how the business has grown and how I practice what I preach, and they see me talking about things and living them and that type of thing. We talk about it all the time. Yeah. And especially like lately in fitness too. You see how much I'm putting into fitness and how much I'm committed to that as well. But the story he told of me was about 4 years ago when he first met me. I've told you guys in the past, like me naturally, like I'm an introvert. I'm pretty shy. I'm pretty quiet. That's who I was growing up through high school. And out of high school, I got a little better. But really in these last 4 years, I've been part of this group, leveling myself up, my mindset, everything like that. I'm really have evolved into the person I am now. And what I want to talk about is you need to become what you want to be. And people sometimes talk about how people can't change, but you can change. Because over the last 8 years, 10 years, I've changed so significantly as a person, my mind, everything. So I don't want you guys, and why I'm bringing this up is because Andy told a story about when he first met me. I wasn't talking to many people. I was kind of sitting alone at a table. It was at lunch. I just grabbed my stuff and went to a table. I really didn't know anyone in the group. And back then, 4 years ago, when I first joined the group, I had never invested in myself. That was my first time ever as an entrepreneur, as a man, investing in myself. And I tell you guys, investing in yourself is the most powerful thing you can do. It's the best investment you can make. And in the last 4 years, the leaps and bounds I've made, physically, mentally, financially, as a leader, everything is huge, and a direct reflection of me consistently investing in myself, learning things and taking action. But he told a story how, I was sitting there by myself. I didn't know many people. He came up and talked to me. And that was the first time we really met in person. Obviously, I knew him online. I communicated with him over DMs, and his podcasts are why I joined that group, to learn from him. But everybody, it's funny being where I'm at now, because you see me how, I make quick and easy videos on the internet. I'm very outgoing. I'm pretty loud and crazy. And a lot of people came up to me at the event, like, back then, the 4 years ago, the first event, no one knew who I was. I didn't know who anyone is. Now I have people coming up to me like they all follow me. They know who I am. They want to take a picture with me because of the direct work I've made over the last 4 years in myself and the results I've got from it. So it's totally different now going to these events now. And it just kind of was crazy hearing Andy telling that story. Remember back then.
Yeah, that's such like a short amount of time too.
In a short amount of time. And the thing, honestly, and now I've spoken on stages. I talk to people. You guys know how I am around here. You see how I am, a lot. And people came up to me and they like would have never guessed I was like a kind of a quiet, shy, introverted person. And I'm like, yeah, that's how I was. And the funny thing is, you see Andy, you see how loud and outgoing, how crazy Andy is. That's one thing Andy talks about all the time. Andy says he's one of the most introverted persons ever, and he's worked to become that way because that's how you have to be. I feel like you can't be an introverted or shy person if you want to build something great, if you want to lead people, if you want to motivate and inspire and have a mission that spreads. You can't really do that being shy and quiet.
Did it just kind of take you to like force yourself to go out of your way and start
for sure
doing things that make you uncomfortable? That kind of thing?
Exactly. And that's all it is, forcing yourself to make those videos, forcing yourself to talk to people, like just talk to random people and come drum up conversations and stuff like that. Speaking on stages, make yourself speak in front of people. But this, I'm telling you guys this because I know a lot of you guys at that event. I saw a lot of you guys that reminded me of me 4 years ago. And I know you're trying to evolve and you're trying to grow. And I'm talking to you, anyone out there that kind of feels like they can't get there or they see all the content I put out and how easy it is for me. I wasn't always that way. That's my message of this podcast. Like I've worked to get that way in the last 4 years because I know that's how I want to be. I know in order for me to truly become the person and the motivator I want to be and the teacher I want to be and the leader I want to be, you have to be like that. You have to. There's no other way. And it takes work and it takes repetition like anything else. And like I said, I was at that event and a lot of people came up to me and it was amazing and totally different now and then. But the thing is I was just like a lot of you guys first time at that event, quiet, kind of, out of their comfort zone. And it was my first time ever doing it. And that was after me. I was also at a point when I kind of didn't, you guys have heard of imposter syndrome. So basically for successful people, entrepreneurs, anybody that's leveling up, they almost feel like they don't deserve to be where they're at. They don't know why they're where they're at. And they feel like an imposter. Like they have a lot of success and accolades and they feel like they don't deserve it or they don't know why they have it. And I was really feeling that too because I just had went from 80 grand to 1.1 million in 6 months, which is crazy short amount of time, right? Going from like the brokest in my life to having the most money I'd ever had in my life in a super short amount of time. And I'm feeling like I'm out of my comfort zone. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to level up. I had that in my gut. Like I wanted to get better and I wanted to level up. And I knew to get this where it is now and where even it's going to get, I'm going to continue to have to level up because that next level is even greater than where we're at now, right? So, I just took me back, like I said, because Andy told the story. He talked for about 5 minutes before he gave me, I don't know who he was giving the award to, but I didn't even really realize it was me. That's how crazy and big a change it was. Because when he was talking about the story, I didn't even remember about being at a table by myself, and he came up to me and started talking to me. Like, I fucking have trouble remembering shit from yesterday as it is now, but it's just crazy to me that like when he was explaining, when people explain this award or something, and then you kind of hear things and you kind of realize it's you. Yeah. Like, I didn't even realize it was me. Like, when he started saying this person now is one of the most, has changed completely and dominating in all areas, and we're so proud of him. They've gone from this to that, and like one of the most successful people as far as growth out of the group. I thought maybe that was me, but I didn't remember the initial story, right?
It's like one of those things you don't even realize, like how much you've changed.
Don't even realize
kind of like put in your face.
Yeah.
And one other thing I know when you came back from this trip, and I think the last one too, you said it's not as much about the tactical information now. It's more about like the connections and who you meet and who you talk to. And that's like really interesting. It kind of goes along with what you're saying right now. Like, you don't go out of your way and talk to people.
Yeah.
Like those connections are huge.
100%. And that's the thing. That's what I'm telling you guys that are listening to this, that either are more reserved and more introverted, or the people that listen to this that went to the event. And I saw a lot of you guys that are that way. I tried to talk to as many people as I can, And it's hard to balance that too, because you have your lifelong friends that I see now that I haven't seen for a year and a half. And there's a good probably like 20 of us that are very close and we've known each other for a long time. And obviously I haven't seen them for a year and a half. You want to catch up with them. You want to have fun. But then you also have to balance, okay, I'm trying to meet as many new people as possible because I know the power behind that. And a lot of times these new people are kind of how I was 4 years ago. They're not going out of their way to say hi to me. Well, a good amount are because they know who I am. But the ones that aren't, I'm trying to reach out to people I notice, you know. So I met a lot of new people, but I could probably get better at that because I get in like the mode like these are my 20 homies I love. But, you know, I did get a good amount meeting new people. But like I said, guys, again, the message of this podcast is invest in yourself, find some kind of group. Books are investing in yourself, podcasts, but also meeting people in person because that's, you know, as stuff opens up now, that's very powerful. And just realize that if and I talk to a lot of you guys, and a lot of you guys always comment on my social media and how well you think the content is and how well I speak to the camera and stuff like that. A lot of the videos I take are really one take when I just record them selfie-wise. And I'm just inspiring you guys, letting you know I was like you feel like you are not too long ago. So I'm telling you there's hope, but you're going to have to work for it. It's not easy. And the thing is a lot of times you guys don't want to put in the repetition to get better. And that's like with anything in life, sports, fitness, business. It's all repetitions. We all start sucking. We all start shitty at everything we do pretty much. And you get better as as through repetitions you get better as you put in the practice and you grow. And the thing is, I'll never stop growing because I know that, you know, there's always room to grow. No matter how good you are, no matter where you get, there's always a better level. And as long as you feel like that and you're constantly improving in yourself, you'll have that humbleness to you and you always will continue to improve. So guys, just invest in yourself. Realize that I was there and I'm here now, and wasn't an accident. That was because I wanted to be somewhere. There's still somewhere else I want to be even farther along. And the only way you're going to get there is by getting yourself there. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to turn on the camera and talk to the camera. No one's going to walk up and shake someone's hand and say hi to them. But it's on you. So please, you control your own destiny. You control who you are. And the thing is, it's genuine. It has to be genuine. It can't be like, you can't be faking it. You know, if you're really shy and you try to fake like on the camera that you're super not, it's going to be weird. It's not going to be, people are going to be able to tell. So it's a process. You'll slowly get better and you'll slowly represent what you really are and what you transition to. And yes, you can change. People say people can't change. They can. Because think about people that like change their lives. Like I have a few friends that were in jail like for 5 to 10 years, major prison, and never owned a business before, and now they're way more successful than I am. They have huge businesses that are super successful, and they're dads and they're husbands now, and they're just totally different people. They totally transitioned who they are. So there's a lot of power in that. Don't you think, Scotty?
I think I love hearing stories like that about people. And
yeah, and there's so many that I know. I mean, a lot of the people in this group I meet, and I have a couple of close friends, you know, they're felons and did major time, and they're the coolest, nicest dudes you know, and they totally transition their life. I never judge anyone like that. I don't give a shit what you did in your past. I just care about who you are now, right?
I feel like that's a thing with a lot of the entrepreneurs and stuff, is they all have some sort of like crazy upbringing or like struggle, like major struggle they've had in their life, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And it is like a lot of entrepreneurs, like everyone I meet, not everyone, but a good amount have had like a huge loss or huge struggle or checkered past. And entrepreneurship, the nice thing is you can create whatever you want and be as successful as you want to be based on your own work and your own what you put in type of thing. That's why a lot of them turn to that and they flourish, right?
Yeah.
So guys, that's all I want to talk about today. Like I said, you have the power to change who you are. You have the power to change what you're doing. Like everything else, it's on you though. And now I just want to share my personal story with that. And I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to continue to evolve. I'm not going to stop. Please, guys, if you got something from this message, from this episode, a little bit, share the podcast, post it. I'll reshare you. Appreciate y'all. Love you. We're out.